Facebook.
Well, I guess it is serious. I just don't feel good about myself.
Okay. And what is
I
it?
can't talk to my wife. I can't talk to anybody.
Well, shit, you could talk to me.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I may not have your answers, but you could definitely talk to me. I mean, that's something that, you know, your emotional feelings like that is something you're going to have to tackle. I mean, you could lean on my shoulder anytime you want. You know, I can give you advice. But, you know, Marquise is the only one that's going to have to get out of that rut. You know, I hate...
And I will. I just feel like, you know, I just feel like I just been messing up my whole life and everything that I'm trying to do positive. I can never really, you know, I can never catch that wave, you know?
Well, Marquise, look. You're looking at things that you're looking at the bad parts of your life that you did way back when. But you know, look at where you're at right now. You own a $250,000 house. How could that, you know, how could that equate to you doing something bad? I mean,
it's just, it really is just a cover up, you know. It's just a cover up for everything because.
Oh, okay, it might be a cover up. In your eyes, it might be a cover up, but it's not a cover up. You know, how many people do you know, have a $250,000 house? Not many, and you're still young, Marquise. So you may think that, oh yeah, I'm using this only as a cover up. Well, I don't think so, Marquise. I think what you're doing, you just have a lot of emotional stress on you right now, and you're reaching out, and you're thinking that life is bad, but life is not bad, Marquise. You know, there are others who are, living out there in the streets and ain't got a pot to be in. You, on the other hand, your life, your personal life, wife, kids, and all that, may not be the greatest, Marquise. But hell, who does have the greatest, family life? Nobody. They can post all this shit on Facebook, pictures that I'm happy and that I'm doing this, but deep down inside, you just never really know that there's issues in their family as well. But to me, I mean, I've seen you grown from being a knucklehead when you was, 2, 3, during your really early childhood days, where you was struggling with that A, whatever you call that shit. Remember we used to buy you meds for that?
Oh, the ADD and stuff.
Yeah, now that was a goddamn monster. Because you just couldn't, you always had ants in your pants. You couldn't keep still. You couldn't focus. And I'm telling you that shit, it drove me up a tree. But in my mind, I said, well, you know what? That's what you signed up for. If you didn't want to sign up for that, you shouldn't have had no kids. So it was too late for me to say, oh, my life is bad. I didn't have that option. I don't have that luxury. Marquise, you don't have that luxury. You still got 2 beautiful little kids that depend on you. And it may not look like it's much to you, but believe me, it is. Because they're really, and Donovan may look like he's a grown-up, but he's still a kid. And he still needs guidance. And then there's Sophie. Sophie is a little girl. You got to, you got to put your big boy drawers on and think about her. Yeah, shit may seem like it's bad for you, but it'll be worse for Sophie if you don't come out of that rut. And forget about, and again, and that was only one part of my life with you, Marquise. The second part is when you was running around in Colorado. And, the times that I had to go to school to answer for a lot of your shenanigans and all that other shit. And then, the stuff in the house, Remember you destroyed my room, you put holes in the walls and all that? And yeah, I was pissed as hell. But you know what? Again, I had to tell myself, well, you know what? You signed up for it. If you didn't want to have no kids, You shouldn't have signed up for them. But that was the choice that I made. That was the choice that I made. And even though it was hard as hell, I still had to get up the next morning and go to work because I still had Tito and I still had Manny. And even though you was going that wrong path, I still could not even give up on Tito, Manny, and you. And when you left the house, you and Felicia, right, to go to Florida, you guys hit rock bottom. And I knew it because I stayed in touch. I knew, I knew you guys hit rock bottom. And as much as I wanted to, reach out to you, I couldn't. Because you guys had to learn that life ain't all that, rosy like you see on television or you see in the newspapers and all. You guys had to hit rock bottom to realize that, hey, life ain't no goddamn joke. And now look at where you and Felicia and those kids are today. In your own home. So you've gone from having nothing to being a confused kid to being a dependent father, a dependent husband, a homeowner. That's what you got to look for. That's what you got to look at. That's what you have in your life right now. Yeah, you've done a lot of bad shit. Yeah, you may be going through some shit now, but you need to look at the glass as being half full and not half empty. Because if you start looking at the shit that you've done and all your hurts and all your pains, then you're ignoring the two most important things in your life. And that's your two kids, Marquise. Never, never, never feel so bad that you think that they don't love you. Even Donovan. I'm sure the way Donovan is acting now is pretty much the same the way you was acting when you was growing up with me. Well, what am I going to do? Am I going to say, nah, he's not my son anymore? Nah, I'm never going to say that. You're always going to be the son until they bury me in the goddamn ground. And even then, when I'm up in heaven, you're still going to be my son. Regardless of what you did, what you didn't do, and how you live your life. To me, my love for you is unrelentless. It'll never go away. And that's what your kids need now, is that unrelentless love. In that direction. You got to be the one that, when they pick their head up, you got to be the one that they look to. They don't need to be looking to somebody that, oh, I'm wallowing in my pain and I feel heartbroken and they need more than that, Marquise. You have an obligation to them. And you need to and unfortunately, as fathers, as parents, our needs always come second. And I've gone through some shit, especially in Germany. Marquise, you had no idea what I went through in Germany. Because you guys were still young. But the things that I went through with your mom in Germany, it almost, I got to the point where you are right now. I just wanted to say, you know what? Fuck all this. Forget about it. I was in the military. I was in a fast-paced environment. I had no time to not wake up in the morning and go to work. I had no time to do anything for myself. Nothing whatsoever. Everything became, and I was in the military now. I'm not a civilian. Everything became so overwhelming that in order for me to go to sleep at nighttime, you remember those German beers?
Yeah, the dorm starters.
Yeah. I was chucking down about 6 of them a day just to go to sleep. And waking up the next day, 5 o'clock in the morning, to put on my silly ass, PT uniform, to go out there and do PT. I get home, I'm puking. But again, and I went through, it took me almost a week to get out of that shit. A week. And I guess, God must have slapped me in the back of my head and say, hey, look, bud, you ain't got time for that shit. You got 3 little ones here and you in a foreign country. You do not have time for that shit. You need to get your ass off that damn couch, put that bottle aside, and be a man. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing for the sake of the children. And it took